this will be our last official press briefing for 2021. I'll give a brief overview of the Dimapur situations, and then the crime data and all the details will be given by our DCP Crime. The overall law and order situation in Dimapur for the last 12 months has been peaceful and under control. Under the Dimapur Action Plan, the Dimapur Police is putting extra enforcement to control the extortion and illegal taxation activities. During the last 4 months, extortion cases have come down since the implementations of the Dimapur Action Plans. Traffic police are doing extra enforcement to prevent accidents, especially in the highway. And we are happy to announce that there was no casualty or major accidents in the highway for the last 4 months. The details of the crime data will be given by our DCP, as I said, but I just want to give the advisory. This is an order plus advisory and a request to our public. Since the festive season, during the last 2-3 years, our observation was that a lot of accidents and unfortunate incidents took place. So in order to avoid all these things, I want to give some advisories in the interest of the public safety and the traffic convenience. Road traffic regulation enforcement will continue as it is, though it is a little inconvenient for the public. Special arms deployment as per the district action plan to counter these illegal taxations or extortion cases, etc. Escort for the public transport will continue. So we'll continue to do all this district action plan. And we want also to request the public that any problem and any issue during the holidays or this festive season, public are requested to contact the police station in case of any emergency, or if it for immediate or any emergency situations, you can also contact a helpline like number 100 and a mobile number 70850-55050. This is our control room and it is available for 24 hours. Fireworks, especially during the celebration of the New Year, we are giving time only up to 11:55 p.m. to 12:30. So public are requested to to restrain in other times so that there is no noise pollution. On the Christmas Eve or the New Year Eve, especially public used to gather and overcrowding in the area like a City Tower, Holy Cross, Deluxe Point, New Flyover. So we also want to request the public to avoid overcrowding. Then all the restaurants or the night carnivals or the bazaars, we also requested them to close by 10 p.m. every day. And lastly, the most important is since still COVID case and the SOP is there, so public are requested to strictly follow this SOP issued by the state government or by the Deputy Commissioner Dimapur. So the rest, these are the just advisory and order. Since the hard copy is with you, I will not go into the detail. Now I'll give time to our DCP Crime, Sri Bharat, to go into the detail of the crime statement. Thank you.
Basically, in crime review, I will be covering the crime data for the year 2021, and also we will be doing. I will be showing the data comparative analysis between year 2020 and 2021. We have given the press note wherein all the crime details are mentioned. Also, we have given major breakthroughs which Dimapur police have this year in different fields like cyber crimes, serious offenses like kidnapping, extortion, fraud, and firing incidents. So these major breakthroughs are already in your press note. So I'll start with the crime statistics for year 2021. Basically, in this year, we have total number of cases FIRs registered are 738. Out of that, Indian Penal Code IPC related crimes are 581, and special and local laws are 157. So basically, 78.72% of the crime are IPC related crimes, and 21.27% crimes are related to special and local laws. You can go through the different headings we are given in the press note. However, the top trend, top 5 crimes which have emerged for the last year, this particular year is 2021 as follows. The highest number of cases are for theft, which accounts for 37.94%, that is almost 38%. The second number of cases is extortion, which accounts for 13.27%. Third is Arms Act, which accounts for 7.85% of crime. Fourth is NDPS Act, which is 5.14% of the total crime, and which we have seen a rapid rise in this particular year, especially NDPS Act. And fifth is kidnapping and abduction, that accounts for 4.87% of the total cases. Now, just for your reference, in Dimapur, Police Commissionerate was started in year 2015, and now is year 2021. So in the year 2015, the total number of cases registered in Dimapur were 1003, which has declined progressively after the commissionerate, and this year it is 738. So there are multiple reasons which we can answer during the question answer session, which basically means there is drop of 26.42% of crime cases reported to the police from the year 2015, when Dimapur Police Commissionerate came into existence, to this year. Now we'll go for comparative crime statement for year 2020 and 2021. In the year 2020, 857 FIRs were registered, and year 2021 it is 738 FIRs are registered. So basically this year we have seen reduction of 13.88% of the crime related reports. That is from 857 to 738 for this particular year. Now there are certain interesting trends if we see, wherein certain kinds of crime has gone up, whereas certain kind of crime has gone down because of the COVID pandemic and multiple factors, which of course will answer your queries during question answer session. So basically in IPC crimes, kidnapping and abduction, this particular crime, though overall crime has gone down, kidnapping and abduction cases has gone up. So as per our own assessment from police department, we find the reasons may be increased factions in the Dimapur town, also lockdown relaxations and continuance of business activities like earlier times, pre-COVID times. And also we see rise in public confidence, so that more FIRs and more reports are being reported to the police. Now the second trend is theft, which continues to be the number one crime for the both 2020 and 2021. However, there is a significant decrease for this year. Now this year we have registered 280 cases, 280, whereas last year there were 313 cases of theft. So we think after district action plan came into the action, and intensive MECPs, patrolling and deployment of special forces, and even traffic has also gone for heavy night enforcement during this period. So we believe this may be the reason theft cases has gone down compared to the year 2020. And also there is another interesting trend in the cases of extortion, wherein overall cases of extortion has gone up, whereas in the last 4 months after the implementation of district action plan, as said by Commissioner of Police Dimapur sir, it has gone down. So last year there were 88 cases registered regarding extortion. This year number of cases are 98. However, during the first part of the first 3/4 of the year before district action plan, cases were rising, and after implementation of district action plan, we have seen the number of cases has gone down. So again, the reasons are the same: resumption of business activities, lockdown relaxations, increased public confidence in reporting, and also increased factions operating in the Dimapur town. Now, if we see the special and local laws, this particular year, our Commissioner of Police Dimapur has given specific instructions regarding the focus area, that was drugs cases, where we give particular focus for the anti-drug drives, and our focus was to right from the traffickers till the consumers, and this source, we wanted to target all the areas, especially regarding the drugs cases. So we have seen the increase of NDPS cases. In the year 2020, we had 25 cases registered, and year 2021 it is 38. And even if you see, we have provided you the list of seizures we have made. So if you can see, this particular year we have seized brown sugar, which is 1 kg 687 grams. We have seized heroin 1 kg 427.5 grams. Crystal meth, which is also called ice or methamphetamine, is 800 grams. Also, world is yours tablet, that is Yaba tablets, which originate mostly from Myanmar. We record 35,000 of tablets, and cup syrup, ganja we have recorded 1,303 kg. And apart from that, different kind of seizures we have already mentioned in our press note, but we wanted to just let you know that Dimapur police is very concerned about the rising drug usage amongst the teenagers and youngsters, and this is our focus area for next year also, and this was our major focus area for year 2021 also. Now also we have seen Arms Act, where in the year 2020 there were 47 FIRs registered, which has gone up to 58 for this particular year. And also one again a very interesting this thing rise is in Foreigners Act. Last year we had only 2 cases of violation of the Foreigners Act. This year we have 6 cases. So that is marked increase, which is basically this year violation of visa, also forgery in the documents, passports and visa. So this year we registered 6 cases under the Foreigners Act. So that is regarding the comparative crime statement for the year 2020 and 2021. Also we can give the breakup for the this particular year regarding the police station. So if you see, we have 9 police stations in the Dimapur Commissionerate, and out of 9 police stations, East Police Station registers the maximum number of cases, which is 250, followed by West Police Station and Suburban Police Station. And we have one dedicated women police station which has also registered 28 cases. So, now you all are aware, we have recently by the government order there is a trifurcation of the district. So under the existing Dimapur district, the police stations which will come are East, West, Suburban, GRPS and Women Police Station. So these police stations recorded 525 FIRs. That comes to the 71.38%. So I'll just repeat for the convenience of everyone. Out of 3 newly created districts out of the Dimapur Police Commissionerate, Dimapur District's police station have 71.38% of crime weightage, which is followed by the Chumukdima district, which will cover Mezipima police station, Chumukdima police station, and Dipuwar police station. So these three police stations in combined registered 192 cases, which accounts for 26% of the total crime. And third will be the Newland district, which has only one police station as of now, which registered 21 FIRs, that accounts for 2.8% of the total FIRs registered this year. So this is regarding the crime data. Now with the permission of Commissioner of Police Dimapur, we'll go for the question answer sessions, or if any clarifications or any additional information you want, you may seek now. The time is given to the reporters and correspondents. Thank you.
In addition to this, we are enforcing this non-FIR, which is not a regular case, but to take preventive measures. Police are giving the non-FIR cases. This total case for this year is 15,000, and the traffic challan, the total official record is 24,800. That the daily our policemen are doing. So these are also, for all these preventive measures we are taking, the situation is also under control, and this is also one of the major achievements made by the police stations. If you have any queries, then you can put questions, or otherwise we have given you the hard copy, so I hope. Yeah, this non-FIR means like a binding. So the case is not a regular case, but say you are driving under alcohol, the influence of alcohol, or say you are moving to the place where you are not supposed to go. So that is, any policeman can take this non-FIR cases. He will be warned. That is something like a warning. So we are giving the warning to any defaulters. That is called non-FIR cases. It will not be registered regularly. It will be imposed penalty or this warning given by the police in the police station with the signature. He will be released. So that is called non-FIR, which are not registered under regular case. This is the total case of 2000. It is 15,000. Yeah. Yeah, this year. This is non-FIR per day. We can even do more than 1,000. No, not traffic. Traffic challan is 24,600. It is there here in your hard copy. Traffic challan is 24,600. This is 15,000. It is for the non-FIR. That is called binding, and giving warning to this.
Sir, in regards to illegal taxation activities, all observer 20 Honorable Chief has exposed regarding the illegal taxation in an Nagaland gate. So in regards to that case, has the department taken up any inquiry and investigation on that matter?
Yes. We have, after seeing that report, we have taken the actions. We have done the regular inquiry by the police officer. But it is unfortunate to say that those reporters are not available, because the one who is giving the report to the press also, he also supposed to give his statement. When his identity is hid and the place of the interview is, unfortunately, it was not within the jurisdiction of the Nagaland. So, but the point which they have point to the police area, Nagaland police area, that we have done the regular, the thorough this inquiry, and then action has been taken. Yeah.
Okay, sir, I have a questions in regard with the same. We have many complaints from the truck owners, mostly goods, that the illegal collection of entry taxes collected from the new fuel checker. How far is it true, and can you give us some explanations and clarification on that?
Yeah, any tax collection, it is illegal because there is there is a standing order also. So even the taxation, it is a payment, is a bribery, payment is also illegal. Yeah, you are not supposed to pay also, you are not supposed to take also. So that is, there is no law that which benefit or protect does this thing. Yeah.
So we have found out, we are from NLTV, we have found out that there is some receipt being given from your checkpoint, that is the new fuel checkpoint, a yellow coupon to the truck drivers or the owners. So sir, have you found out some detailed findings from your end as well, as you have already clarified that you are under investigation and inquiry?
Yes, this traffic challan the police can enforce because anywhere the police can impose this traffic challan. Suppose if a person is driving without this proper uniform, so traffic laws means they can challan.
Yes.
That is illegal. But given the census of the vehicle, that is, I think, if they are not taking the money, then because of issuing this vehicle serial, I think that is illegal. But if they are taking money, then that is illegal.
Sir,
But just giving the serial because we maintain the vehicle entry and the policemen are there to make an entry of that vehicle. Yeah. So giving the slip, it is not illegal. Because unless somebody is taking money, giving the slip to the vehicle to make the serial, that is because like a tanker, we made the serial. Because how many vehicle has entered to through that check gate? So that maintenance of the scenery, the serial, that is illegal.
So, sir, in regard with that, there is a checkpoint, there is a register, where the conductor of the truck or the concerned vehicle comes down and has to enter his number in that roll book. That I think that will suffice the entry. But my question is, I truly understand that the challan regard, that's a different issue. But there is a complaint from the truck owners and drivers that the police is issuing a challan after which they have to deposit 300 accordingly to the 6 chaka, 10 chaka, 12 chaka. So that is a complaint we received from the truck owner. So I just wanted to take a clarification from your stand that how far is it true and how far is it fact?
No, if you have evidence, then it will. But otherwise, you cannot just say that because of the truck owners complaining, this thing. There is so many complaints. So you have to bring the evidence. If there is evidence, then there is no issue for that. But otherwise, just a pressman or just a policeman will just say people taken like that. So all the facts are not fake. All these allegations are not false. But all the allegations are not true also. So unless in the absence of any evidence, and when there is evidence and police are not taking action, then that is illegal. That is not okay. But if there is no direct evidence, then people will just say then if the strict talk, it cannot just be like. And the police check gate were established during the British time. For us, we are not here for our own deployment. But this is in the interest of the state, interstate to check all these illegal things. So making entry, I'm repeating, but that is not illegal. But if somebody said that if they are paying this thing, and then if there is evidence, then definitely we are taking action, and a lot of action, the maximum actions taken again. The police department will be the maximum taking the disciplinary actions.
Sir, I have one more question. That's in regard with the traffic. My question is, sir, can you give us an exact timing of the entry of heavy vehicles and non-entry? Because most of the time in peak time hours in narrow passage in Dimapur town, we see heavy laden vehicles plying within National Highway 36. That's within 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So, sir, can you give us a clarification, the entry and non-entry of the heavy laden vehicles? Because that is causing a lot of traffic havoc in Dimapur and mostly a lot of accidents within city tower junctions.
Yeah, you are right in your own observation. But it is again, if we have to see the others right, then see the highway construction. Some are going the government construction on the priority. These are given the special permit. And all these four-lane constructions are permitted to apply because of that there is a time bond. Any government construction, there is a time bond. So there is a special, because the law cannot be 100% to enforce this thing. Otherwise, the timing to enter to the city, it is, we are releasing from this after 3 p.m. from all the gate, and then from after 9, we are not allowing that, especially the Manipur-bound vehicles or vehicles coming from Assam are not allowed. But with those some exemptions like emergency, government properties, or some perishable goods, or some explosive, or some emergency things, that are permitted. Because of that convenience of these citizens in the city, we cannot also again violate the right of the others also. So there is a lot of this thing it's not on the favoritism, but it's on the priority, and as per the law, where sometimes we allow those vehicles. And I'm sure those vehicles, maybe if they are coming from not coming through this Chimokedi or this Delay or Newfield Gate, because there is a lot of exit from this, say, Dansiri side also, where the police gates are not there. So those, some movement must be there. Otherwise, from this official check gate, this is the law, and we are giving that timing, and which is illegal. I tell you which is illegal. Can the policemen stop the time, give a timing, because they have a transporter right. We are not supposed to stop, because why? Because our city, we don't have a bypass lane. So we are stopping the vehicle, police are doing the stop vehicle in the interest of the traffic, to avoid the traffic congestion in the city, for the interest of our citizens here, violating the right of the other trucks which are going to Manipur or the city Kohima like that. Because under what law we can stop any transporter? We are supposed to have by lane, and this highway is supposed to apply for 24 hours.
I just have one question. Why there is so much of difference between the case of theft, that there are 280 registered cases, but only 83% in the United States? So can you just explain?
Acha, in case of theft, it's a nice observation. Actually, in theft, most of the cases are actually bike theft, vehicle theft. If you see the breakup of the theft cases also, it is mostly vehicle theft, and which is a major concern for us, which we highlighted during last press conference also, because of lack of CCTV coverage in the town and lack of other infrastructural issues. And our state being Dimapur being the just across near the Assam, so interstate gangs are also operating, and it's being the national highway, so it's very difficult without the modern technology and aid of the modern technology to catch especially the vehicle, two-wheelers and four-wheeler theft. So in this particular section, out of this 280, the major chunk is vehicle theft, and where number of arrested persons are very less. That of course, if you need the breakup of that, you can get it from crime branch later on. But I'm just giving the trend. The major breakup, major chunk is from vehicle theft. Especially two-wheelers. This theft is two-wheelers, bike and scooty. Maximum these two, it covers I think 55%. Yes, 55%. And we also want to give, in connection with this, we also want to give advice to the public that I think we have to be careful now, because we abandon our vehicle where we are not supposed to park. So that's why the missing is also there. And this maximum, especially this year, this two-wheeler missing is, and we have so many exit and entry point between this Assam and Nagaland. We have two check gates between the Karkhati and then the Delay gate. But in between, we have 5 approach road where even the big vehicle can fly, and where there is no security point.
between this Delhi Gate and this new field, we have 5 approach connecting to Assam, this Karbi Anglong, and then Nagaland. So this is also maybe one of the factors where police also failed to detect, and we are putting extra effort for this because of this concern.
You mentioned lack of CCTVs, right, in the city. But I believe there was a project some few years back. CCTV, real-time monitoring of roads involving intersection. Is it still working?
We have 2 points. No, no. We have only 2 points here, just in front of our office. One in this railway station, only these 2, and the rest through this police self-help basis from our Chalan and all. We have installed some CCTV in the city. For the security reason, we cannot leak out all the security about the locations, but we have 4 or 5 CCTV in the city, which are there, not by the government project, but by the Dimapur Commissionerate, through this Chalan and all of these things. And that's why, because of these few installation of in the important locations, last few, the incidents of the safari and also, all these things also were detected. And
Sir, would you say that Dimapur needs more CCTVs? And if yes, then can you give me an estimate like how many CCTVs Dimapur needs and how much has right now?
Of course, the exact need, it has to be worked out, because it's if you see any modern city in 21st century, for example, if you go to the old Jerusalem, you will find ideally every place has to be covered by multiple cameras, and every camera has to be covered by another camera. The reason being, we have seen the many miscreants which during the time of law and order or other times, they do damage the CCTVs also. So I think, and then quality of CCTVs also were infrared, night vision, all these necessities. And also we, if you see Delhi, Mumbai, or even recently I have seen the news, Imphal as well, we need a proper wall. It is called wall, where actually you can bring, it's an integrated wall where all the projections are made, all the CCTVs are there. And with the advancement of technology, with the behavioral and psychological analysis, you can actually make out, because if you have got thousands of the cameras in the town, it is humanly impossible to monitor one camera by one person at a time. So basically you need the artificial intelligence, wherein if somebody is making the threatening move, or let's say somebody is removing the arm, or somebody is violating the traffic or accident, automatically that particular CCTV camera is highlighted on the wall. And this is not a technology which we are talking in the air, which is already existing in the most of the developed countries also, and within the India also. So I think that is a bigger issue, wherein I think proper planning and proper, I think, report has to be submitted, and I think it's government level it is required.
Have you made any proposal to the government?
yeah, from the department side, we have sent this thing, but you see this is a big project. So now Kohima is under this smart city. I think they have covered all this project also, but Dimapur, it may take some time.
Maybe I think
But
a pilot
sooner or
basis-
later, this government will take up this issue, because this is a basic requirement for the public safety. And we'll also advise that all the public also is not very expensive. Say like any person having the security threat or doing the proper business, then they also should install this CCTV, not so that through this police also can detect, or even the public also can watch, not whom to allow, whom to not to allow. Not so it is a basic need for the individual also. Even in that way, for like press people like you all, media, it is very important, because you are also the important person. You are the key role. You are playing a lot of constructive command. So I think for your own convenience also, I think there is no harm to install the CCTV It'll just cost 20, 30 or say for 50,000 for your safety. I think there is no harm to install in your private house also.
Are there CCTVs installed at checkpoints, interstate checkpoints?
Yeah, all the checkpoint, that is mandatory. All the police station, that is as per the Supreme Court ruling, there is all the police stations, CCTV, that is mandatory. So in all the police stations, we have a CCTV. In the lockup and all the check gate, we have the CCTV. So whenever we do the inquiry, we will be observe all those CCTV.
And whatever happened to the polygam initiative last, I think it happened last year,
Yes.
polygam or police patrol.
Yeah, it is still there. Whenever actually our patrol teams are moving out, we have issued sufficient number of body cams to the police stations also. And I think even if you have seen in all the major deployments where law and order issues are there, we are deploying our forces, anti-riot gears and other parties with the body cams worn. And I think that is really helpful for us also, because many times we get complaints from public regarding the sometimes excessive action of the police or sometimes the lack of action from police. So I think we are using it for our own benefit also and for the benefit of the public also.
Why can't you make it for all routine friskings as well, not only for major incidents? Polygam.
No, we are actually giving it to the basically the patrolling parties or STF parties. And then of course with the see all the technological innovations and initiatives needs a lot of fundings also. But as of now, we got sufficient number of body cams to cover the basic necessities.
I think we can all attest here. We haven't come across any policeman wearing a body cam during routine frisking, but we get this almost quite often.
Mm-hmm.
No, especially the traffic and then this they are using. But as our DCP has mentioned, any equipment, we need a funding also. So yes, we have, but it is not sufficient. I will admit that it is not sufficient, but we have. But to issue to all the policemen, that is also again is a big project. Now it is it's not very easy. I will be honest, it is not very easy. That's why, depending on the situations, we are issuing this, and we have, but it is not. We still need to have more.
I think it is a rational use of the resources available. Of course, it is a good suggestion, and I think going forward, it will be really good to, for example, in the developed countries we see, it will be good to have every person having the body-worn cameras. But I think at present we are not in that ideal state as of now. Going forward, it will be, I think, we will be looking forward.
And also there have been allegations of the mobile patrols going astray, not as in going off the mandated route. So I believe there was a project, all mobile vehicles were installed with GPS. It's still working.
See, actually, that is mobile unit actually. We have something called EMU and we have got highway unit also. So basically, of course, we cannot give out all our tactical and strategic thinking.
It was made public.
No, it was made. What I am telling, see, in police department, this is like day-to-day affairs we are managing. It is not like the development department. So, for example, when it was made public, after that we have come up with the district action plan. Now our mobile unit and highway unit, we are actually giving escort every day, morning and evening, which was not earlier which was not within their jurisdiction. We are giving till the Mezipima jurisdiction, right from Dilai to New Land check gate. So depending on the need, we are changing the use of our available resources. And of course, apart from that, mobile unit are also acting as first respondents also. If you have seen recently, a lot of cases of even vehicle theft, abandoned vehicles, or even couple of times we have extortion cases are also solved by the mobile units. The reason being, all these cases, once you make it very static, then actually criminals also come to know about the routes and timings. So I think I will not go deeper into the tactical and strategic issues, but I think it is always better to have certain uncertainty about such incidents, because they are.
The reason I am asking that question, I put up that question because it is not uncommon to see a mobile, that regularly
Technically, of course, that is not jurisdiction, but if you have any particular instance, because uh, all crimes are not Dimapur based, and all crimes will have some something related to the Assam also, to Kohima also. Even Delhi police also comes and operate in Dimapur. Maharashtra police also come and operate in Kohima. So there is no restriction for Dimapur police to go and operate in be it Laurijan or Katkati unless until if it is malafide intention.
I went outside to find stars.
No, you have to prove actually this is just observation. You have to come with the factual report on that. But there is nothing prohibits. This is the single country, they can go anywhere.
Sir, I have one last question. In regard with the eviction drive done by the Assam government in regard with Tutukan colony, the eviction drive is already done, more to be done. Now, as our Commissioner of Police has clearly said that apart from the Needfield check and the like, there are some approach roads. Yes, we don't stop the Indians, but the illegal immigrants. So the entry of the illegal immigrants after the Tutukan colony eviction, we have been receiving complaint from the sources from Lakeview Colony Councils as well as that there is no police being detained. So how far you are coordinating with the district administration in order to stop the influx of these illegal immigrants?
Yeah, there is a concern for us also, and it's good that you raised this issue, and we also want to appeal to the public. Just now, before this before the press conference, also ADC and myself, we were discussing about this, because we have to give advice to the colony chairmen and Gamburas to be alert. Otherwise, our neighboring state, they are doing a lot of eviction, not only in Dudu colony, but in Nogon and other districts also. So people are moving toward this side because there is so many entry points without the police or administration also. So we have given advice, and from our side, last week itself, we have given written instruction to all the police stations, especially in the boundaries, this New Land and this West Police Station, to be alert and to coordinate with the police, the administration, to stop this. But only if we just leave it to the administration and police alone, then it is not going to help. We cannot discriminate on the religion line or these other issues. But see, the illegal, in any case, they cannot come to. They are not supposed to come, and they cannot come and settle here. But since sometimes we are too generous, also, and because of this working force, we require this. We are sometimes too generous. So our public also should be careful about while accommodating, keeping this labor force with you. Now, so we also want to appeal to the public, especially to the Dimapur colonies. We want to request all the Gamburas and the village council chairmen or even the GBs, all these civil societies, to be careful, and then we have to alert, and administration and police are working very closely. It's not that the police are not giving cooperation. I think that is totally wrong, because the police are the one only who are doing all this. We are deploying the security in all this eviction. But since eviction is done not in our state, we cannot go, police cannot go and interfere that one. Because whether we like it or not, when somebody is doing, though it is very close to us, when somebody is doing it in their own jurisdiction, we cannot just go and stop that. So police also, the jurisdiction limitation is there. Otherwise, we have a force deployment is there. Our SCPs and OCs are closely working with the administration. So we have to be, all of us, we should be, should work together. And when it comes to the land issue, it is more to do with the administration. Whether we like it or not, police cannot independently function without the presence of the administration. Because when it comes to the land issue, law and order issue, police is, we can act without the administration also, because if it is any criminal and law and order cases, but especially the land issue, this is, I'm repeating, we all have to work in close coordination with the administration. So we are working. And It's good that you have raised this repetition, but we also want again to appeal to the public, especially in the colony. I think we have to stay alert and should not allow these people to.
One question, in regards to NLTP Act, as this act is already still there, why are district administration, excise department and police are still unable to close down this liquor shop, which is open day and night, even in the clubs, it's all open. So why the police, excise department and district administration is not able to close down till now?
You will answer? No, me good. Yeah, that is, as per this, our Nagaland Total Prohibition Act, the enforcement agency, it is with the excise. The enforcement inspector is excise. And we are supposed to work with the excise. In the absence of the excise personnel, the police also not supposed to do. Regarding all this illegal bar and all this thing, see, this is a mini Indian and it is a city type. So we are also doing, the police are not that, it's not doing, police are not doing, it is not. But see, so long unless each and every individual, unless we behave, it is not going to stop properly. This is the, otherwise a policeman any information or this thing, it is. And I will be honest that yes, there are so many failures and we have to do more also. But if we just keep on blaming each other and then doing nothing, and so then it is, this problem will continue. Otherwise, these policemen are doing, and we see there is a lot of seizure. I don't know whether the concerned department has a seizure, total number that the police has met. So it's not that the police are not doing, but no law can enforce 100%. That is a practical problem. Otherwise, police also doing, administration also doing, excise also, I'm sure they're also doing, and there is a lot of seizure and destruction also. But in spite of all this, there is this thing, and permit. You see here in Dimapur, all the trade permits are with the DMC. As per if it is in the commissioner system like in other states, then all these trade permits should be issued by the commissioner of police. But here, since there is, the commissioner system just came recently, and there's some commissioner power is also with the deputy commissioner or with the DMC, and some power also with us. So we have to work this with a close coordination. That's why there is, and I will say like all this bar and all these things where people say like that, unless we have evidence, we cannot just go and close, because he has a business right, he has a registration. So but if there is any evidence, if the public come forward with a complaint, then I think we can do something better than the present situations.
So regarding to the evidence, if I may say, if we just walk in at any time, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, till morning 2, 3 o'clock, you can just find if you want to find evidence. So we have 6, 7 more pubs and bars opening till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you are looking for the evidence, the excise department or the police department could have just walked in and you could have seen for yourself.
Yeah, that.
So, but it's all open and nobody is doing nothing. So that is my concern. Why still this is happening?
Yeah, this we all have to do. It is, as I say, there is a lot of illegal activities. That's why we are also doing it. But we cannot just we cannot just blame somebody because he is running a business and without any evidence, it cannot just go and close this thing. So if somebody is going inside after 1 or 2 p.m., that means the person who is visiting is also illegal. I should say like that. Because there is also, because we are not this thing, unless we are going all this in this thing. So we should bring the evidence. Because when somebody is selling the liquor and you are going inside, that is also, as per the law, it is not, that will be the indirect evidence. So we should not this thing, but if there is evidence, then we can also lodge a complaint, or unofficially also we can report to the police or excise or administration. There is no. So I will still request that We have so many illegal activities. And that's why the law enforcement agency is there and the administration is there, and we are trying our best. But I will admit that, yes, there is so many more things to do, and we all should put effort together.
So I think if that
I
is
think
all.
that's all then. No more question, no? Well, though we'll close this and thank you for your time. And since this will be our last official meeting for this year, advance Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you.